Okay. I'm going to be doing a video this afternoon on some stuff that's coming in the mail. Either this afternoon or tomorrow. But I had some other stuff I wanted to talk about. And it all kind of tied together, but I hated to talk about this stuff on that video because this video could very well be taken down, and if it's all lumped in together, the whole thing goes. So I thought, well, okay. And plus, it would end up to be a long video, right? I tend to go on anyway. But there was something that came out today that I kind of wanted to mention to do with mail. It turns out that the post office has been running this sort of undercover program called ICOP, where they're actually monitoring people's social media. Why the post office is doing this, seems crazy, but they are. And if anything perks their interest, they turn it over to Homeland Security. Okay, people have got to pay attention to that. You have to be careful what you say on social media anyway. It used to be you could slip a lot of things by them because they weren't coordinated enough, to lump it all together. But they do have the computer power now to do it, and they have the inclination to do it. And now when they lumped, all this stuff gets lumped under Homeland Security, all pulled together. So it's risky. But I know, for instance, I have seen, not that long ago, where somebody gets a box in the mail and they open it on camera. And it's got primers in it. Now, legally you can't send primers through the mail. So when that sort of thing happens, because they're considered a hazardous substance, because they're basically explosive. And so the post office, you cannot do that. It has to be sent FedEx and labeled as hazardous. But when you have a post office box and you're opening it on camera, you're taking a really big chance. I've had that happen to me before, where people have sent stuff to me through the mail which shouldn't have been in the mail technically. So I don't put those videos up. I don't dare, because I know there could be a big problem there for the sender particularly, but even the guy who received it. So you really have to watch that. And I don't know why the post office feels that they have to kind of be the Gestapo and be squealing to everybody about what you do. Like even if even if you're going to attend a rally or something, if you send a letter to somebody, don't trust that the post office is secure. You have to be very careful about that. And like I say, to bring this up is risky because YouTube tends to get rid of all videos like this. Anything you're talking, and the next thing I'm going to bring up too is definitely they're not going to like. I thought it was funny that Susan, whatever her name is, that runs YouTube, the other day here she runs YouTube, but then YouTube gives her award, for how open-minded and inclusive they are, and how, just how wonderful they are about not censoring people. then in her acceptance speech of this award that she's basically given herself, she's bragging about how much censoring they actually do, how it's saving you, from yourself. But anyway, it's ridiculous. It's kind of like in Hollywood where all these actors get together and give each other awards, and this is a television show. Who gives a rat's ass? It's just nonsense. But the other thing I was going to bring up, and this people keep mentioning it, they really want to know, during the insurrection, the riot, all this nonsense, where that woman got shot. I remember seeing that video, and at the time thinking, who the hell is this guy that's shooting? Because, they said, just Capitol Police. She was shot by Capitol Police. Well, I didn't see a uniform there. I mean, you've got a guy behind a door with a gun. No idea who this guy is. Broken window, he just fires that gun at random in a crowded hallway. And like I say, I didn't see a uniform there. But they immediately say, it was Capitol Police. They refused to say who it was, where if this shoe was on the other foot, they would demand to know, who pulled the trigger. I think we have a right to know. I think they have an obligation to tell. You can't just say, it was justified, close the case. Very suspicious about that. I mean, at the time, I thought this was weird, and that there was something drastically wrong here. And now I'm thinking that they refused to say who it actually was. I mean, I think they're afraid that, he's going to be doxxed, but that's really the liberals' method of working at things. You don't see the conservatives doing that to people. So I don't think there's any truth in that. But I think people have a right to know. I don't think you can just brush that aside and say, it just happened, Because my fear is that just somebody with a gun? I mean, some bodyguard or, who was this actually that pulled the trigger? Like I say, in just a random shot in a crowded hallway. There's something weird that went on there, and I really think they have an obligation to tell, though they just want to sweep this under the rug and forget about it. I think they really got to push on that a little more. I'd swear, I mean, that's the first thing. Like if a cop shoots somebody who's obviously up to no good, they immediately say who this was, who the shooter was. That there is no hesitation. But in this case, they flatly refuse to say. And just the fact that they do that, I'm very suspicious about that. Like a lot of these people, well, in the first place, they knew something was going to go down. They were warned about this. So was this one of the people, one of the congressmen that was carrying a gun? Was this somebody's bodyguard? Like I say, I didn't see a uniform there. You just see the hand come up and just shoot at random into this room, which was full of all kinds of people. The people filming it, everything. It was just random people in there. There was no great threat there. So I can't see that being justified. But I do think we have a right to know. I can't see that there's any reason that they have to cover this up. But they just flat out refuse to say, and I don't think that's right. But who knows? This probably will get taken down. just because of saying that, because they can dish it out, but they can't take it. But I really would like to know. I would like to be assured that there was some justification in this, and I don't see it. You know, because it could have been anybody. It was this mysterious hand comes up and shoots at random in a crowded hallway. That can't be right. But they really don't want to. And when I see somebody who really, really doesn't want to talk about it, that makes me very suspicious. But I'll let it go at that. But I really think somebody should be pushing a little more, because I think we have a right to know. We'll see. You know, this stuff comes out. You know, they always think, we'll just ignore it, it'll go away. But the truth always has a habit of catching up with them. But it just, it always happens later, down the road. But I don't think they can allow that to just stand. I think they're going to have to fess up to that. And the sooner the better.